Hi students, in the first semester, the first year of PG course of English, in the second semester, we studied modern linguistics. You know very well that the history of English literature or creative history of English literature is highly influenced by various thoughts, various ideologies, various developments in the field of sociology, in the field of science, and many other disciplines of knowledge. Of course, literature is not something that is created in a hollow or emptiness. It is the thing, it is the mirror held to the society, it is mirror held to the socio-political upheavals of the era. Quite naturally, it got influenced by various trends, developments in different branches of the knowledge. And linguistics is one such school of thought that influenced English literature like any other school of thoughts. You cannot read, you cannot understand the history of English novel, or it is incomplete if you don't understand, if you don't know anything about the stream of consciousness technique. And you know very well that this stream of conscious technique is basically a study of psychology. And the novels written by Virginia Woolf, Jane Joyce, and many other writers of the 19th century were highly influenced by this particular development in the field of psychology. Let us come to the historical or the influence of the history on English novels. Most of the novels written by Charles Dickens, Sir Walter Scott, and novels written by especially Thomas Hardy are highly influenced by history. Especially the novels of Sir Walter Scott were identified, were studied as the Scottish novels. Partly they are the wonderful records of Scotland. Of course, even the greatest of the great playwright like William Shakespeare was also highly influenced by British history, the Roman history, and many other things. So now, since last 2-3 semesters, we have been studying linguistics because linguistics is one of the important schools of thoughts. It may be a writer like Chomsky, many other writers are also there, Errington. All these writers are basically the great linguists, and their ideology, their way of thinking, their experiment in the field of the language and linguistics influenced British history or the European structure of language. And you know very well that in India also we have been watching nowadays the history of English literature is rather now identified as history, it is study of English cultures. So departments of English literatures have been translated, has been shifted or converted into the departments of cultures. Now we are not studying English literature, but rather we are studying the literatures in English. Whether we write in Kannada, English, Marathi, Hindi, Gujarati, or any of the languages of the world, if the text is translated into English, that becomes the part of English literature. So that is the reason that linguistics has been has been almost the part, it is identified as inevitable part of British literature or English literature. So scholars like Noam Chomsky is considered as one of the important thinkers both in the field of literature as well as linguistics. Now the question is, how come this linguistics is important in case of studying the literature? In what way linguistics changes the meaning of the text? Whether it changes the meaning of the text or whether it elaborates, broadens the understanding of the text. This is the question. So, in order to know, in order to make you aware of all these developments in the study, we have been studying linguistics. Last year, we covered some syntactical, semantic aspect of the linguistics study. This year, we are studying linguistics not as a part of the grammar, but as a part of ideology, as a part of the influence as an ism. So, before entering to know about the great writers like Chomsky and his contemporaries, we once again try to know what is linguistics and in what way it is very, very important to understand English literature in a different way. You know, my dear friends, every attempt in the field of literature, every attempt in understanding a different idea is to go near to the meaning of the author and the text. That's why the scholars like Chomsky applied the linguistics methods to the creative texts. So it has been very important, popular trend which is coming up in the field of studies and changing the meanings and understanding of the texts. So before knowing various other scholars and their contributions to the English literature in the field through linguistics, today we will try to understand what is basically linguistics means. Is it just the study of the language? Is it just the thing that talks about the grammaticality of language? Whether it talks of the structure and the sound system of the language, and or whether it goes beyond the limitations of all these questions. So our question is, what is linguistics? So linguistics, to define in a very simple way, it is nothing but linguistics is the study of language. But in what way? How? How come? And in which aspect of the language is going to be taken here seriously? That we will try to understand in the next class. Thank you. Thank you very much.